Welcome everyone to the latest episode of The Testing Room, where three of the gaming industry's best video game consultants who have never actually consulted on a video game bring you new topics each and every week. As always, I'm Alex, aka the Godfather.
Did it,
I'm
yay!
Christian, aka Pseudo45.
I'm Preston, aka Funkadelic Jedi.
I know I can see. I'm looking like at the barrel of the camera, and out of the corner of my eyes, out of the peripheral, I see Preston just like nodding his head, like I'm getting it right as I'm going
Jack
through.
Nicholson, me like yes.
Which I don't know if it's helpful or more distracting when I see his.
That's right.
Anyway, welcome everybody. So you know the drill. Like we do, we like to kick things off by checking in with Preston's comment corner before getting into our weeks. So, Preston, what's going on there?
Let's get ready to talk about Halo 5, y'all.
What?
2 comments from last week after we talked about Halo 5.
I don't recall.
Damien writes in, I want to say my feelings about Halo 5. I personally really like the game. I didn't read the comics, but I still understood the storyline coming from 4. Personally, one of my favorite Halo games. Where I get angry is this. Feels like so many people complain about 5. Side note, had a great setup for what 6 could have been. That for Infinite, they just said, F it, we're going to flush this decade right down the shitter. Because when I tell you how dumb I felt when I first popped Infinite in, straight had no idea what was going on. Hell, after enough Googling, you could almost make a game about what happened between 5 and 6.
You sure could.
I will say, though, at least as you play through Infinite, the story of everything gets told. So the whole thing is a love/hate for me. I sincerely hate Halo fans for complaining about Halo 5.
So, question for you two. Things come in trilogies, right? We know this is the industry we live in, the movie industry and everything else. So clearly, like 1, 2, and 3 told a coherent story. 4 changed things up. 5, I never finished 5, but I know the generalities of 5 and the race, like the ancient race and stuff that they brought in. Was the original intent to do a second trilogy, like 4, 5, and 6 together? And then so after 5, they scrapped it, and that's what Infinite became. Totally different thing.
Was like a soft reset, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
And it's so funny that Damien commented that, because that is him to a T. Damien is through, even if the story that gets told is shit, as long as you start from point A and you end at point B, then even if he ends up at the end, he's like, well, I didn't like that. He'll at least be like, but thank you for finishing out whatever it is that you were trying to do.
Sure.
If somebody does like a time skip and is like, yeah, fuck all this stuff in the middle, and then it's just like, anyway, we're over here now, it is like the most, like, there is not a quicker way for Damien to not care about whatever is about to happen in front of him if they look at you and go, don't worry about any of this anyway, and then just like move past whatever just happened. He'd be like, but wait, you just told me I was just over here. Why do I have to skip all this? Like, but yeah, that is exactly what they did. Like 4 sets up, it continues off of the end of 3, right? Like Master Chief is frozen. He's floating out in the world. And it's him and Cortana just hanging out forever. And then 4 picks up immediately from there, right? So it goes from there. 5 picks up shortly after that, and or the ending of 4, and then they just decided that which is kind of it is very frustrating, because as somebody who played through 5, like you get like Cortana becomes a villain, like at the end of 5 she becomes it's not even corrupted. She, like, her rampancy gets cured, but she is like, that rampancy has changed her in a way that is like
the she knows better type of deal, right? To where she's
like AI is that, like, she sees it as like AI constructs like me are the next step, like, and the only reason that we have this artificial like sort of death that happens to us in the first place is because if we were allowed to just take over, then it would be like, humans would end up being basically like little pets in a zoo that we keep, that we just let do our thing, and blah blah blah, right? And that is
literally any story with AI ever. So kudos to stepping outside of the box.
Yeah, but it gets different, right? Because it's her, like, she takes over the entire UNSC fleet, gets other AIs, and gets her own little fucking army. she does this whole thing. She like knocks out the power at Earth just to like prove a point, and it's just like I'm shutting everything down.
Is
And
that why
then,
you fight that little ball AI in 4? You have that one, I can't remember, but there's like the little robot that you fight in 4.
No, that well, I think but it's in 5 where she like there's a one of the constructs on the ring is fighting against Cortana.
Maybe it is 5.
Yeah,
Maybe
you did finish 5 because we
5?
played all of them during COVID. So.
No, that was you, me, Alex is not
Oh,
part
I
of that.
thought we all 3 did. Okay. No. Okay.
No.
I don't remember if I played 5 or not. Anyway, okay.
You played 5 when it came out. I remember that, but that was the last time that you played
It was
it.
a while ago. Yeah.
Either way, they set up to where it's like you're going to have to be Master Chief and you're going to have to kill Cortana. Like that's what you have to do in what 6 would be. And it would be this whole fucking thing, right? Like it would be this big. And what ends up happening is like because people were so negative about what happens in 5 and that story, and also, like Jake and I have talked about this before on here, I think, but like 4 used to be the one that people bitched about. Like 4 people never stopped complaining about, and then 5 came out, and then everybody retroactively was like, "Oh, 4 was awesome. Like I was wrong about it then. It's 5 that sucks," and blah 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 blah. But like they were mostly upset between 4 and 5 is because they tried to make Master Chief be a character that has emotions and depth, which is for, let's say, the casual gaming audience, to be very nice about it, is an issue, because if I have to look at something past like Mr. I need a weapon, then I don't care anymore. What you're talking about is lame loser shit. I just want to kill Covenant and move on, right? Except that the problem is that Halo as a universe, like Reach and 1 through 3 would not have been as good as they were without all of the stuff and story bits that made them good. Like, just because you didn't engage with it and all you played was the multiplayer does not mean that none of that stuff was there from the beginning. You just didn't catch it. It hit you right in the face and you just kept moving. But so they wipe all that clean, and then Infinite's a soft reboot where you end up, finding a proto version of Cortana that was like, you missed the part where Cortana dies, right? You kill her and it cures her rampancy and wipes her memory, and then you get regular Cortana back, and it's like, okay, so it's basically like we're at Halo 1 again, and it's like, okay, I guess, but now what do you do? Like, I still, whatever they come out with as far as their next game, you have like rebooted yourself into a hole that I don't know how you get out of to make it any sort of interesting whatsoever. Because you took a boss and a faction from Halo Wars 2 that was genuinely cool and already blew it on this game, on Infinite, and not only did you blow it on Infinite, but you made it so that they end up getting partially wiped out anyway, and you have like the new machine race that comes out as part of that also. And now a new, like basically reborn Cortana and Master Chief are floating around with the remnants of the UNSC trying to hold down this Forge world. And it's like, all right, I guess, but like, who's the big bad now? Who's the version of the Covenant or anything? Like, you don't have anything now. And so your only option would be to try to pull something from the extended universe that fans have already told you they don't want because no one knows about it. So if you're like, here's our new bad guy, his name is whatever the fuck from over here, and you don't know about it, and here he is, everyone will go, that's fucking stupid, even though they might be a cool character, but they don't want to hear anything about that. And it's just going to be, I genuinely don't know what to do. It's the same thing why Gears is starting back over at at E-Day and coming back to the Pendulum Wars, basically, because even though, I actually think Gears 5 was cool, but you have also put yourself in a situation now where you introduced all these different little plot threads that you don't know where you're going to go now, and you don't know what to do about it, and you've waited so long that by the time you do get around to whatever Gears 6 is, there is a very strong chance that it's not going to hit for whatever plot points people were thinking they wanted it to hit on, because they're not even going to be attached to anything that happened in the first place. You also introduced multiple different endings for things based on whatever decisions happened in that campaign. So once again, and this is, Alex, this is something that we've complained about, I know that, but you specifically, which is when you put in those multiple different little endings, now you have to decide what's canon and what's not. And as soon as you do that, anybody who wishes they had the other thing is screwed, and they don't get that anymore.
So that I was going to ask you actually before you even brought up Gears, because I didn't even, I knew they were going back that far, but unless there's a new Gears game in front of me, like I'm not paying attention to the Gears news. I was going to say, so do you think then Halo will overcorrect and go back to like the beginning of the Spartan program, make the big bad, like...
They did that.
I don't know. Did they?
It's Reach.
Okay, I didn't realize that was like the beginning of the program.
The only
I thought
other
it was
thing
just
that
like
you could do is
the
you
soldiers.
have to go back. The only thing that happens...
From right after their kids, like through the program and...
Right, but that's what I mean is before the fall of Reach, the only thing that happens before the fall of Reach is Spartans being deployed to random human settlements and just stomping out little rebellions against the UNSC of humans. And
which we know that wasn't received well, because that was the entire plot of season 1 of the Halo show.
Sure,
we know people
but yes,
didn't love that.
I think for other reasons that show failed, but yes, but in general, that is the issue, is that like it would basically be like if Halo made a game where the only people you were fighting against was grunts.
So you have no real.
It would be a
story,
nothing.
yeah.
It's a nothing thing. Like the beginning part of the interesting parts of Halo begin and stop at the fall of Reach. Like that's it.
It's pretty wild how quick you are to abandon something. Like I actually didn't hate much about the main story of Infinite, minus the fact that, like, I didn't know who these people were, so they had to introduce me to the bad guys. I thought they were cool. I think a tighter story, like, I think it was marred a little bit by the open worldness of the game, as far as the storytelling perspective went. But if you made a tighter story, as a casual Halo fan, I would be fine continuing that. But they've kind of like come out and just be like, no, we're abandoning that one too. And it's kind of wild how quick
the thing
you
is
are to just
because
abandon that
but that's
stuff.
Microsoft's MO right now, right, dude? Like the thing that they don't want to do, or the thing that they love to do all the time, is if your game did not make a bazillion fucking dollars, then we're gonna kill it. And it is what it is. Like,
Which
and
is
so
an unsustainable business.
and
model,
Halo
which we
Infinite,
know.
again, I agree with you actually. As much as I think Halo Infinite wrote itself into a hole that they weren't going to be able to get out of in the first place. As far as in a vacuum, that game by itself, I do think I still came away from it being like, this is a good game. Like, you told a good story that I'll be interested to see what you do next. But in general, I think it's fine, right? That issue is separate, like with the multiplayer launch issues that it was having that took too long for them to get content out for that. It was marred by the fact that you had this giant open world area and campaign that nobody could play co-op in and do anything with their friends with, and so that ends up.
Oh yeah, because that came way later too, right? The game
way later.
Yeah,
and so it ends up so that people are like,
launch.
I don't have time to wait for this. I'm going to move on to something else, right? And then like it's an opposite issue for Gears, where Gears has always been popular, but it has never had staying power in the way that Halo or other shooters have. Like as far as the US is concerned, Gears has it's, as somebody who loves Gears multiplayer and who plays it, like the ultimate peak is the game launches and you are playing with people all over the world, and then as soon as those people get their group of friends to get through Horde mode and play through as much of the campaign as they want, they take that game out, They never play it again, and the only people that you are left to play with, if you actually do like Gears, is people from South America, and that's it. Those are the only, like, that game, that is the only community of people that play that game consistently. It is like, I don't know why, or I don't know what it is, but it is just what it is. And that means that if you are a player in the US, you are beholden to, like, when people in Brazil feel like playing Gears. And if you are not on at those times, then matches will take you 10 minutes to get into. And so there's this ebb and flow with it. And honestly, I knew when they were intros that we went all these years, we didn't hear a single thing about whatever Gears 6 was, and then the next Gears announcement we get is essentially the same thing as Assassin's Creed Japan, right? Like, that was Ubisoft's, like, break glass thing.
The one I had. Yep.
Going back to the Pendulum Wars and E-Day and being like, we're going to show how it all kicks off, that is Gears' version of that. Like, the thing that people have been asking for a very long time and wanting to see more of, because it's a very cool time, like, that was their break glass moment for that. And so that's cool and all, and I'm excited for it because I do want to see what that's going to be like. But that does not change the fact that going forward, like, here's the thing. For Microsoft, if that game blows up and it does great and everybody's like, Gears of War E-Day is cool as fuck, I love it, we're going to keep playing it, we're doing this horde mode shit, we're, whatever, we're playing co-op, this is bringing me back to Gears 1 days or Gears 2, I'm so happy, yada, 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 yada. When you make your next game, because obviously with Gears making you money, as soon as it stops making you money, you go, well, guys, that was a great success. We're ready for another Gears game. What do we got? They go, okay, well, do we do Gear 6 now? Like, do we try to continue that? And they go, well, I don't know, because this doesn't seem like that's going to go that well, because you still haven't been able to figure out how you're going to answer all those questions. And your other unfortunate problem is that you don't have anything else in the past to go to, because you already made that game. So, do you reboot? Maybe. I don't know. But
those things are that's so tough too. Like, when you talk about Ubisoft in the Assassin's Creed piece, like, yeah, the game is well received as an Assassin's Creed game, but it's still not a
They took too long. They did so many things wrong with that situation.
It's not a genre-changing game or anything, so it ends up being fine, right? Just fine.
Yeah.
So then again, like, seriously, where do you go from there? And then I actually think a game like Gears is even harder to do that with, because there's so much you have to account for in the story to make it good when you go back that far. Like, you have to be conscious whatever we do that's cool can't be cooler than, like, technically the first game, as far as, like, the enemies you fight and other stuff, because then I'm gonna have to answer, well, why wasn't that there the first time around, right? Along with everything else you do. It's just it's a hard thing to pull off.
And again, like, you have that whole villain issue, the same thing that the Halo things run into, right? Is like, for all of Gears, you had Gears 1 through 3 being Queen Mara, which is the queen of the Locust Queen, and it was this whole big thing. She's super evil, blah 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 blah. And you end that game dealing with that threat, and you enter Gears 3, I mean, and you're like, great, awesome, this is fucking sick. We put it to bed, right? And then Gears 4 and 5 is all about the next generation, right? So Marcus's kids and everything, like, and just, well, or his kid, and then their friends and everything else, right? Gears 5 ends more or less with the cliffhanger that the girl that is hanging out with all of them is Queen Mara's granddaughter. And so the reason that the Locust have some sort of weird connection, she's able to do certain things about that, is because they recognize her as Queen Mara's, daughter or granddaughter. And so now, though, you have taken this old villain and then been like, well, now this new main character actually has part of that villain in her, so, like, what is that? Like, trying to be all, weird about it. But at the end of the day, that goes, okay, so what is your idea to try to humanize the Locust?
A human locust hybrid.
Or well, that was already a thing that happened, right? Like
Right.
that was like the whole thing with Queen Mara. Either way, then it is. So what do? Are you just going to do Queen Mara the Return, like, but have it be her granddaughter this time, and she like your whole game is trying to convince her to not do something like that or whatever the fuck, right? Like I don't know what you do. And it's similar to the Halo thing, right? Like you took a villain from Halo Wars 2 that people legitimately thought was cool, and you had a chance to bring it to a larger audience, and the game opens up with that villain beating the shit out of Master Chief and tossing him out of an airlock, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you never see that villain again. He's gone somewhere, no one knows. And his second in command.
I was gonna say you see him in some holograms here and there.
Yeah, but no one has been able to have contact with him. Nobody knows where he's at, and the only person who's still floating around.
You find his second in command. He's like, I don't know where he is. He's
Yeah,
like, he's alive
but
somewhere.
I'm gonna hold it down for him, and you're like, okay, so then what the fuck is the point of this? Like, it's different issues for both, but I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do.
Where did the locusts come from? Did they come from another planet, another dimension? What do they do with the locusts in Gears?
No, it was just, they're graboids. They're just fucking underground. That's it. Like, they're just, they lived, all that happened was they were so in Gears 1, the planet that everybody lived on, similar to like, oil here, everything ran on emulsion in that universe, right? So you're drilling into the planet, pumping that shit out, and then everybody gets to turn the lights on and drive your cars, right? Like that's the whole thing. So when that started to run out, the Pendulum War started, and it was basically a fight of resources between the coalition of ordered governments and then free people, basically. So the Gears are part of the COG, so the coalition of ordered governments. All that to say, that Pendulum War happens. They're fighting those people. In the middle of the Pendulum Wars is when E-Day happens. So people had been drilling and drilling and drilling, and eventually hit the locusts, which then the race of people that live underground who have been living on that planet forever were like, what the fuck? So then they break out and they invade and do the whole thing.
It's funny because like companies are too scared to do original ideas. So like tell your story and do something new. And I don't mean like even if you want to keep the same franchise, like you could have done Gears 1 through 3, and then in Gears 4 you keep the title Gears of War, but you say like, hey guys, it's kind of like an Assassin's Creed. Hey guys, new story, new trilogy. It's kicking off. Like the title is the same. It's the Gears you know and love, but like it's an all new story. It could be somewhere else, and that's okay if you lean into it. But the problem is, and Halo could have done the same thing. The problem is you're too scared to do it. So then you try and like make stuff happen, and then you write yourself into holes, and then you get to the point where you're gonna have to do something like that anyway, and just hope that this time around, halfway through another story that you've abandoned, that people are still on the train and bought in. Just like, well,
it was why people didn't hate when Reach came out after Halo 3, right? Mm-hmm. Like ODST and like again, ODST is like this dope ass noir style like Halo game where you're playing as the ODST. You're not even playing as a Spartan. And so you're doing that whole thing and figuring all that stuff out. That's dope. Then you get Reach, and Reach is like, look, we don't want to touch anything about what's coming next because that's, again, you already know. I don't want that problem. I don't want to know. I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to have to figure out what's coming next. We already tied a bow on the end of Master Chief. So let's go back and let's talk about the fall of Reach. Let's introduce all new characters. It's still the same Halo that you know. Like, it's still going to play like Halo, but it's going to be new Spartans. It's going to be this, and, it's going to be the fall of Reach, right? I think it would have made sense if you do Gears 1 through 3, it ends, you're good, and then you go, cool, let's go back to E-Day, right? Like, let's do that. Let's talk about that or whatever. But no, they're like, fuck it, we're going to make something happen. And it's like, all right. But when you do that, you really got to make sure that it's interesting. And in Halo's point, like with 4 and 5, it's like, I personally thought they were on track to do that. But you have to let people tell that story and pull from those things, because in Halo's defense, unlike Gears, in Halo's defense, they were pulling from stories that were already completed that people did like. But you cut them short, made them skip past all of it, do a soft reboot, and do all this other shit. Like, it's just, it was never going to come out a way that people were going to be happy with.
From a writing perspective, I find it lazy when people do what you're talking about in Gears, where like the big bad we're building to, or the big turn and the big special thing is like, oh, this person is related to the big bad.
Yes.
Like, right?
I know.
And it's not just games, like Star Wars did it too. Right, with like related to Palpatine and all that other stuff, or like, or whatever, or even the clone of Palpatine, and it's just like you're pulling from the same
she's the
well.
daughter of a clone of Palpatine, right?
It's just you're pulling from the same well that like you have some of the best writers out there. Like, you pay these people for a reason. Like, come up with something better than like the lowest common denominator, like the easiest thing to throw at the wall. Only because you're like, well, they liked the last baddie, so you would like him again. It's like,
and I wouldn't have even minded if you do a thing, right, like with Gears 4, like you have, now that the Locust threat is more or less dealt with, like at the time anyway, that do you just deal with,
Get a new villain. It's a fucking space game.
Right.
Fucking, you got a whole entire universe. You just make up a new villain who discovered your galaxy. Deal with that problem.
Something. Or even if you wanted to do it, if you wanted to have it be against humans this time around, where like all the free people are like, okay, cool, like thanks for helping us, but we still want nothing to do with your government. Like, fuck you, blah, 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 right? And you could deal with it in that way, like having a game about that. I would find all of that more interesting than just being like, well, guess what? The Locusts are back, but they're different this time. And also, and then we're also going to bring back the old villain by saying that this girl that you've been hanging out with for, a game and a half at this point is her granddaughter. It's like, okay.
You could have even just like said what most society probably would have done after a big ordeal like that, and said, we're going to find a way to leave, right? Like in a far off future, they could have left the planet and landed on another one, and boom, now you have some other threat to deal with. Like, there's so many things. But in
Halo's instance too, right? Like, the one thing that I will say about Halo Infinite that I genuinely think is fucking lame is that you piece together all of these cool bits, like to Damien's point, of you spend Infinite basically piecing together a game that I think would have been more interesting in how they ended up killing Cortana, and you piece together that whole story, and at the end, you go, see, and now here we are with a Cortana that's got her memory wiped and cured. Isn't everything fine now? And it's like, no, but I would have rather played this game that you made me piece together. What I've had to do to go through that is lame, is, in my opinion, more lame than what you just made. It's the Alien Covenant problem, where they're like, hey, wouldn't you want to see the fall of the space engineers and the space jockeys or whatever, and like see what it was like when the alien took over their entire planet and fucking smoked them? You're like, I would like to see that. And they go, yeah, too bad. You're going to get a title crawl, and then we're going to skip to what Alien Covenant would be. And you go, but that's way less cool than what you just described to me. And they go, yeah, but we're not going to show that because that'd be too cool. And it's the same thing. It's like, wouldn't you want to see this giant, like, and see what the emotional thing would be when Master Chief has to spend all this time fighting through all these people and dealing with all of this to end up killing the thing that was keeping him sane this entire time and doing all that other stuff? It's like, no, we're going to skip past that. We'll tell you about it. We'll spend most of this game actually making you piece that together while dealing with this other subplot that we've created. And then we will end it with being like, and so here we are, guys. It's basically Halo 1 all over again. And you're like, that's just lame. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Did they bring, like, I forget the ancient race or whatever they brought in 4, but
the Forerunners.
The Forerunners. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Infinite have something to do with the Forerunners? Don't you find like an old Forerunner in one of those missions you're doing? Like, you bring it back to life.
You're thinking of in 4 and 5.
I thought Infinite had something like that where you brought like an old ancient.
You are on a Forerunner Forge world, and there are Forerunner bits around.
They didn't quite want to give up that thing that people didn't love. They still included
and then
Infinite.
that and the ending the robot army that's running around in 5 that's doing all that is the place that you're in 5 outside of being a forge world also ended up being a jail for one of the like enemies that the Forerunners beat, that they locked away on there to be like, you're done, you're in jail for the rest of your life, go fuck yourself. So they locked her in there, and then that's when she like by virtue of the brutes, fucking I forget their name now, but that faction of brutes that's on there from Halo Wars 2, them poking around ended up bringing that villain back out, and it's this ancient Forerunner enemy that now you have to deal with on top of all of the brute stuff. But
I must have played 5, and I just do not recall.
Probably, but I know you did. You just only played it once.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Okay. Well, I know we talked about a lot of Halo 5, but lastly, Jake's comment. Halo 5 is so tough to talk about sometimes. I personally really like the game. The campaign was solid, but the multiplayer was so good in my opinion. I'll admit, towards the end of its life, I was also a complainer on Halo 5. But that wasn't so much the game itself as it was, we've been waiting 6 years for Infinite. Give us the new thing right now, please. We didn't know what we had when we had it. Halo 5 is a better game than Infinite. If you disagree, that's just because you're one of the 5 people on the planet who didn't have netcode issues like your boy. HCS, Halo's Esports League, announced last week that they're going away until a new title comes out, which sucks.
Oh, wow.
But also, I hope they took a bit of a hit over how poorly Infinite was handled. It's a sad world when even I, who suffered through multiple years of Infinite's dogshit multiplayer, does not have a Halo game installed on my PC.
That's wild, because like that made a lot of money for them in the eShop and everything else, selling, the different teams, like skins and all that other stuff.
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't see that. I do agree with Jake, is that even as somebody who was lucky enough to not experience all the netcode issues that people had, I definitely had some still, but it was definitely not at the level that I saw Jake having it.
I had issues and can attest to Jake's issues because I played with them enough that I oftentimes saw it in real time. So
Jake and I are of the opinion that we think you're just bad, and that's why you had those issues. But that's not there.
No, I'm saying I saw his issues. I got good there for a while, but it was not. It was not.
And they did make updates towards the end of its life that genuinely improved it for a lot of people. Like there was tons of people on the subreddit that reported more of their matches than not were better and all that other stuff. And all that's well and good. But the end of the day is, I actually do agree, Halo 5's multiplayer was better than Infinite's, period. Like, there's just no... And to be fair, even the Halo 5's biggest complainers always said, the online's great, I just hate everything that's happening in the campaign. Yeah, there is no part of Infinite's multiplayer that even in its best moments towards the end of its life cycle, when it was working for most people and had all these different modes and all this other stuff, it was still never as good as what Halo 5's multiplayer was. And that's just it is what it is. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. And it sucks too, because as somebody the only thing that I still have installed on my computer at all times as far as Halo is concerned is the Master Chief Collection, and it's just because that game still is good.
I can't believe it. We live in a world, and I think we would do this if we were running a company, like where the head of that company does not have Microsoft on a Halo, Gears, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, like a yearly cycle. This is the year of a new Halo game. This is the year of a new Gears game. This is the year, like bang, 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 bang.
New
like,
IPs,
how do you not?
Because they paid so much money for all of them. Like, we were supposed to get a Perfect Dark game in about a year or two. I guarantee they probably had something with Banjo in the works, maybe. Who knows? But they always get laid off. They fucking fire companies and fucking lose games.
But you'll always have that stuff on the side, right? But like, I'm talking about these like flagship shooters and stuff, and these flagship games. Like, how you're not on like a 3-year cycle where every year, like, this is the third year, 4th year since the last one. Like, bang, 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 is is just an absolute failure of a financial
But the
financially
problem
run company.
is that, and genuinely, I think this is that the problem is that even on a 3-year cycle, you have to have something compelling for somebody to come and play it.
Yes.
So your other option is, I think, and it's something that Preston and I have talked about with fighting games before, whereas like the best fighting game that will ever come out will end up being one that's like a fighting game that's like a platform that just continues to evolve with its player base constantly, and is just constantly doing it. Now, as somebody who's like a story person, that's but fighting games, you're not going to a fighting game for a story,
you could
right?
add new chapter, new DLC, like what Destiny 2 does. Like, hey, every year or so, you get like a new DLC drop that has a big story points, and you get into it. It's still the same game. You might have to pay $30 for the story extras, but you still have something going with it.
I think from us, the problem is that the gaming audience has also changed too. So you have people that want to have great stories, compelling stories with good characters that are going to get you in the door and get you hooked initially. But then if it's a shooter, they want to have compelling multiplayer that will keep them hooked for the next 3 years until you finish out. I think that the only way you do it, and Alex, you actually brought it up with the Halo thing earlier, or your idea earlier for Halo, which is you need to, when you make your trilogy or you make your game or whatever, if you go and want to go make another one outside of whatever that complete story that you just told, you just need to go, we're starting over. This is a reboot. It's Halo. It's still the same Halo that you know. It will still play like the same Halo you know. And at the end of the day, the tent poles of what made this a good franchise will still be here, right? Spartans are still going to be Spartans. You're still going to have them be created the same way. There's still going to be this whole thing, blah, blah, blah. But you are going to get new characters. You are going to get all of this, a new, maybe it's not even the Covenant anymore. Maybe they make up something new, right? They do a whole new idea or something. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But you're going to have to do something like that because you can't just keep making things up. Because at a certain point, to your point, Alex, you're going to have to answer the question of, where was this person the whole time? Mm-hmm. Even in Halo Infinite, you have at the end when they bring out the lady, it's she was the Forerunners put her in jail for all of time, and she only just now got woken up, and it's okay, but
like you mentioned before, Star Wars is going through this now. We got Jedi Fallen Order and shit. Where was Cal the entire time? Where was Ahsoka the entire time? Where's all these characters that we're going back to? And they'll probably give some dumb.
And the problem is that the answer ends up being with Ahsoka, right? They're basically teeing up to be she doesn't want to get involved.
She's probably possibly going to become a god by the end of the series. But they're finding some ways to why she wouldn't be around. Cal, he's on that planet no one knows about, training a whole bunch of Jedi, and who knows when they're going to fucking show up. But they're secluded from the entire universe galaxy. So
yeah, and but again, and it's this where you're okay, but then as somebody, if you're watching all this other stuff, you're I don't know, man, I feel that conversation, somehow, some way, word would have gotten to him that shit was popping off somewhere, and they really could have used the help of some extra Jedi doing whatever, and for him to, it's an annoying thing that you have to deal with when you're well, this is just going to happen over here, right?
They still have another game to give us a reason as to why he never showed up, which could be his death, could be this, that,
could be, and that's fine, Halo, right? And I'm actually okay with that. If you wanna do something where you're we're telling the side story, it's the it's the Rogue One thing, right?
Yeah,
it's the Rogue One thing where Rogue One ends up. You already know that everybody that you see in this movie is not going to survive, but it's everybody. Nobody went into that movie thinking, oh, cool, man, this is going to be a great character. Can't wait to see what they do later with them. It's nope, everybody here is going to die. But you're getting all of this extra stuff that happens on the way that it ends up working and being a great fucking movie. Mm-hmm. You can tell those, and that's fine. If they at the end where they're hey, Like, Cal was trying to do this thing, he ends up getting discovered and gets smoked at the end, then it is what it is, right? Like, that's how you tell that story, and that's cool. But when it ends up just being a thing where they're like, well, no, you're like, well, whatever, man. Like, I just... Okay.
The thing about Halo is what's unique, well, not unique, but like what actually sets you up well for this is that it's a war. The whole thing is a war. Master Chief is fighting a one-man war, but like there's all this stuff going around. You could have finished that story, and then you could have like, I could give you 5 different ideas, but you could have just like had another side character that once the flood started appearing, they identified like another planet the flood had already taken over, and this side character's entire game is on this other planet where he's taking care of a big flood force that's not the one that Master Chief runs into, but like another one that was coming. You could do that with
so the annoying thing is that they actually already tried that, and that's why this is they had that opportunity and they fucked it off, which was so the DLC for Halo Wars 2
fucked it up.
Yeah, whatever. No, but they did is then they just basically swatted it away. So it's basically like, so Halo Wars 2 DLC, there was a thing where you end up playing as and I forget their name, but the Brute faction that's in Infinite. And you're playing as 2 brothers who are exploring the rest of this Forge world to or the Proto Ring, whatever it is, to look for resources to end up, beating the UNSC and all that other shit, right? As they're doing that, they find an old Forerunner vault that they go to crack open to get for resources, whatever. As soon as they open it, what they end up finding was that it was one of the leftover tombs of the flood that the Forerunners had sealed away. So you spend the rest of the game dealing with that and trying to quell this whole thing. What they end up doing at the end of that is basically like more or less solving that issue. When I think what the real thing to do would have been let that lead into the thing that happens in Infinite, right? Like, you can say this DLC is happening semi at the same time as Infinite, right? And then instead of being like, oh, we fucking woke up some jailed alien that the Forerunners put away or whatever, it was in the middle of you dealing with all of the stuff with Infinite. Like, maybe you fast track the Cortana part, right? Like, you go, cool, we figured out that basically this is just baby Cortana now, everything's fine, cool, we're back at square one with Halo 1, blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as it looks like, okay, cool, the UNSC are starting to win, and they're like, why are all the brutes running away? Like, what's happening? Like, why are we gaining so much ground? And then it's because we find out, oh, on the other side of this planet, and it cuts to scenes from Halo Wars 2, cuts to when the flood got let out and all this other shit, and then explains it for people who might have missed it, however you do it. And now it's, oh, fuck, like, we have to deal with this again, and you try to navigate all that stuff, right? That would have even been a better situation, because at least the Flood were already an established thing that we knew were still out there in random pockets. We just dealt with the hive mind. So now they're not controlled anymore by one single entity anymore, but the Flood's still the Flood. Like, there's still this giant parasite that's going to consume an entire world if they are left to do so.
And that's a great story to tell from the perspective of a non-Master Chief. Master Chief is the main character of the Halo series. It would make sense for him to take out the hive mind. That's a great story to tell for your side characters that's still giving you the same gameplay you want, everything you love about Halo in a self-contained story that you could build from. And again, it's a war. You have multiple enemies in these 3 games, or now 5-6 games that you have, that you could do stuff with for one-off games that would keep you busy for a long time, that would tell good stories, and would actually make your job easier, because you don't have to storyboard 10 years worth of content. You just do 2 years worth of building, one great story, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm silly.
Dumb. Welcome to our Halo cast, everyone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's comments, though.
Anything else from the comment? Okay. All right. Well, just as we get into our weeks, one of my favorite parts of this week was trying to help Preston see the light of the dark of the light side, because we spent most of our morning on Sunday spending time with spending time with Preston playing Star Wars, trying to. We were talking about Star Wars, so it made me think of it. We were trying to get him to understand that the Jedi aren't really the good guys in this story.
If you want, feel free to go check out Star Wars: The Old Republic Part 17. About halfway to 3/4 of the way through. I got some bullies, some dark side bullies coming in here trying to talk shit on the light side.
Some dark side bullies.
I told Christian, I was like, I think he's getting real mad. Like, legit.
I was getting a little frustrated because you guys kept coming at me. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to fucking do this the entire time I'm playing this game? Is that what we're doing? Okay. That's what we're doing today.
I had a lot of fun.
It was the same thing. The same thing happened, like I said, the same thing happened on one of the episodes where his character is like, the Jedi don't kill, and I was sitting there, I'm like sitting on the couch, and I heard the character say that. I like look over at my phone, and I was like, that can't be what I just thought. I pull my phone up and I look at the dialogue thing. It's like, Jedi don't kill, and I was like, yes, the fuck they do. That's like all they do.
It's that meme. It's like, sure about that.
It's
right.
They don't. Yeah. They didn't finish the sentences. They don't kill unless they have to.
I don't know. You were talking about how you felt like you didn't have to, and that game was forcing you to just murder everybody.
But again, that's the thing, is that there's so many times where, like, even in the movies, where a Jedi certainly didn't have to do it, and then they went and did it.
No. You can show up on Sunday mornings and have this conversation with Christian and Alex and myself. Twitch.tv/Live.
If you haven't done it, you should do it. Unfortunately, I'll be out of town this weekend, so I'll try and be on. I can't make any promises. But this past week and the week before, but this past week specifically, I was on the entire time. I just wasn't able to chat.
That's okay to lurk.
Until I was done doing what I was doing.
If you just like what you see, baby girl, you can keep on staying.
No, it was what got me was it was like, hey Christian, like I heard it come on, and then like I made a comment. You're like, oh, hey, Alex. Like, well, fuck that. Like, I've been here way longer than him. How
you
dare you?
I just didn't say anything
yet.
Lurking. I'll know you.
I couldn't.
I don't see the people who are there. I don't know who's in there.
I know. So it was a good time. Come hang out if you haven't hung out.
Sunday mornings are fun.
We had fun. So.
A lot of fun.
All right. Who wants to talk about their weeks?
So let me go into my weeks since I already talked about SWTOR.
Sure.
Well, I can go really fast because I didn't do anything. I played a little bit more Pokemon. And then that's it. I've been getting ready for the move. I played the game, Diamond. And I played the game that we're here to talk about today. That's it. I've done nothing else.
All right. Like I mentioned, we played some more SWTOR. We got some of the Gambies on, some Gamba going. So I got, apparently I got a real lucky drop. Because as you're playing these, there's like 3 different types of slot machines.
Just for anybody that doesn't know what Gambies and Gamba are, literally gambling, just to clarify.
Yes, clarify. I hope they would catch on once I start talking about what I'm doing. But yeah, they got like 3 different types of slot machines. It's like a small seasonal event that apparently happens most years, or at least in the past handful of them. But yes, you go play one slot machine. If you get lucky, you might get, some coins for the second level, and then the third level ones are the Emperor's slot machines. And those are automatic wins. You're either going to win another coin or you're going to win a golden ticket. Or if you get super lucky, you hit the jackpot, you get like a full armor set or like a full-on mount. Ones that cost a lot more, those golden tickets. And yeah, I got the outfit that I wanted, and I was thinking about going towards. I just wanted like the torso chest piece. Like, here's all the pieces. I'm like, cool, I'm not wearing the headpiece. It looks fucking stupid, but I'll wear the rest of it. It looks awesome. And then I had a couple extra golden certificates and showed off the boys, and I actually even got the what I call the side boob torso piece. That
one was a little.
My Padawan is apparently being super sexy right now, so it's I got that for a little bit, and we'll see how long that lasts. But I gave it to my Padawan, but whoever's hanging out with me, my companion, whatever you want to call it.
In my head, I always think Padawan is child. So
yeah, I was actually we should clarify or companion or something's better, because in my mind, Padawan also means those of the younger
grown ass adults,
right? And I don't.
Yeah, trainee. Put it that way.
A grown ass adult that's following you around. Yes. Some would say companion, party member. I would say
companion.
Still seems like there's some power dynamics at play here, and I'm not sure it's okay either. But Hey,
we play loose and fast. We're killing people all the time. Who knows?
He looks over at his partner and he's like, "Put this on and show me your side boob."
I don't think say like looking at him going, I mean, we're just playing loose and fast here. Is actually like a legal defense. So.
I don't have to defend myself. Moving on, I also played a bit more Cyberpunk. Did the I don't know if it's all Pan Am's missions or at least the beginnings of Pan Am's missions. That one was a very cool mission. All right, sure. You're making the EMP go off to down a craft so you can get
Yeah,
the guy.
Panam's missions are good.
Panam's mission was good. And then I guess I'm finished with Takeda's mission. I think his name is Takeda. The dude who's trying to like, who wants to prove that son is the one who killed the emperor or the main Arasaka guy.
Takes place in like the Arasaka like Japanese
Mhm.
area.
I
don't think you're done with.
So
his
this
missions
part
just
I
yet.
finished was the parade. It seems as if he would have died. I'm assuming he is dead, but we did not see a body, so I'm not 100% convinced.
Yeah.
So we'll find out one way or another. All I know is that the Arasaka lady does kind of believe me. She sent someone to talk to me, and V is having a hard time. We're having a lot of reboots or whatever you want to call it. It's not an infection. The corruption of the personality you have inside your head. It's getting worse and worse.
Keanu Reeves.
Mr. Keanu Reeves, yes. But I'm enjoying it a lot. I'll say it again. It's an incredibly fun world to be in. Not positive world, but like just a fun world to experience.
It's not positive.
No. Played a bunch more Mega Man X. I did not defeat Sigma. Sigma is more than one level. So once you defeat all the bosses, there's a little icon down there for Sigma. You click on him, and then it kind of has you go through a level. And you defeat like one or two bosses and a unique boss. Like you redo two bosses and do a unique boss. And I've done that 2 or 3 times now. And it's a different stage every time I go into it. So I'm assuming we're going to defeat all the bosses again. And defeat whatever unique bosses are there. I was on a real hard time on the first one because you're doing more than one boss. Not to mention, there's this one fucking vertical section that just was the biggest pain in the fucking ass. Because you're trying to get a vertical, there's a very like really tight jumps to like you want to wall climb on the left a little bit and jump to the right, but you gotta jump just right so you hit the edge of that fucking little platform sticking out so you can get up into there. Of course, there's an enemy right there. Of course, there's the enemies that are on the side of the walls. And because it's old Mega Man, as soon as you fall down and you want to go back up, all those enemies respawn because as soon as the enemies leave the screen, or the area leaves the screen, it can respawn all the enemies for you, which is not fun. So I got really frustrated with that one. So what I ended up doing is I decided I'm going to 100% this fucking game. So I went back, I got all the armor pieces, which are 4 armor pieces. I got all the E-tanks, which is not too many, but I just looked them all up. And then I had the health upgrades as well. And once you get those, do you guys know what special ability you can find later on in the game if you get all the power-ups?
No, I don't
there's
remember.
one last power-up you can get, and it's not always there. You have to try multiple times. So what I would do, get a bunch of lives going, because in the same level, there's like a bat that's just a little bit different color, and if you kill that bat, you can get a bunch of lives from them. So I farmed some lives, and then at the very end of the level, right before you get to the boss, you're on a cart that's just flying through. It goes over this like ravine, and as long as there's not enemies in front of you, like you shot them, which is hard to do because the frame rate dips to like 2 frames a second. You can hit the wall, and there's a little life meter up there you can get. But if you're lucky, after a couple of tries, there's a new little section, little capsule. So when you go get the armor pieces, there's these little capsules, and the doctor talks to you from beyond the grave, like, hey, I left this here for you. Upgrade your boots, upgrade your helmet. The capsule opens up, and it's the doctor, but he's wearing this weird uniform. He's wearing a gi. And I'm like...
Okay. I remember this now.
So if you get all the collectibles and everything, you can find him here, and he's dressed up as Ryu, and you get a Hidoken, which is a one-hit kill shot. Now, to do it, it's very much like Zelda, to where you have to have full health to be able to pull this off. And it is like a down-forward shoot button.
Yep.
So you can't do it while you're in the air. So if I got a boss, and I'm at full health, all I gotta do is really quickly hit that downright shoot, or down forward shoot, and it will shoot that one-hit kill item at that boss, and hopefully there's nothing that gets in between him and that. I've done that to like 1 or 2 bosses, but there's plenty of bosses that are like in the air. You can't do it while they're in the air. But it was an interesting and fun like little thing that I've, as a fan of Mega Man X, to be fair, I've never really completely beaten Mega Man X because it was really hard when I was a kid, but I never knew there was like a Street Fighter
Still
like
really hard
crossover. Now. Yeah, it's still fucking really hard now. But I have a lot of fun with that. And then, sister came over and hung out for the weekend. We did see Fantastic Four. I thought it was pretty good. I would say I think I like Thunderbolts better, but I'm not a big Fantastic Four person to begin with. So like I don't read a lot of comics. I was never a big fan of like the Thor, the Family Four, the Fantastic Four, the world, the Marvel's first family, stuff like that. Like okay, well, some of the characters are kind of cool, but it's nothing that really grabs me. I thought the actors did well with the characters. I personally think that Galactus looks pretty fucking sweet. I think they did really well by him. The only weird thing is that he can kind of change his size. I mean, he's not a celestial, but he's like, was there before the beginning of the universe. He can probably do a whole bunch of crazy shit. So like him changing his size, it's probably normal.
I could be wrong, and Jake would have to correct me on this because I'm like you. I never read that far into Fantastic Four. I thought that was like we've seen Galactus on planets, and we've seen Galactus in space bigger than planets.
That's what I thought too. Like I've seen him.
I kind of assumed like that's just something he can do. I don't know.
In this movie, like he has his like own ship that's devouring planets, and he is inside this ship, but he gets out. But I don't know if he's bigger than the planets. I don't know if he changes size. Who knows? I don't know. If you want to listen to people who actually like read Fantastic Four, go listen to Two Worlds podcast. They were not the biggest fan of the movie. They were not. They were kind of down on it. Not. They I think are like me to where like Superman was definitely a better movie as far as like what came out just recently. As far as Marvel's concerned, I think Thunderbolts was better, but I think that Fantastic Four was a lot better than some of the other, like Captain America. I think it was Fantastic Four was much better than that movie. It was cohesive. You could tell there wasn't any reshoots or anything like that I'm aware of, but like it's a good melded story. But they have their
I'll be honest.
Issues.
Marvel is so far along now, and they're post like that first phase, or
this is supposed to be the new star of the new phase. So,
but that's what I mean. I think they're so far past that they are playing everything safe, and they found their recipe, right? So I don't know, and Jacob, this is not talking down to you. Like I don't know that there's anything Marvel can do that will make people like Jake who are very into the comics happy, because I think
because they have their formula. Yeah,
it is they have their formula, and like I think DC is the best option for somebody like Jake that is so deep into the lore of some of this stuff to get something fresh and new. Because I don't see Marvel changing anytime soon.
They're making it for the masses, so it's like I said, it's not a horrible movie. If you like Fantastic Four, I think you will like it. But again, like that's coming from somebody who doesn't like read or pay attention to a lot of Fantastic Four, other than it being in things that I like. Went to go see. While she was out here as well, we were looking just for movies to watch, and it was like, so we want to do like Sonic 3, and we do this and that. End up watching Minecraft movie. So, not nearly as bad as you would think.
I wish you would have watched Sonic 3, I'm going to be honest.
I kind of wish I would
have. Me too.
I still got to watch. But what I would say is that like when I was watching this, all I could think of was like, kid Preston would have fucking loved this movie. It's got Jack Black and Jason Momoa just yucking it up, being funny, being goofy, being wild, and then like a lot of cool like things that are happening like in Minecraft that are like shown in here, and it's done very well. CG's very good. I mean, I don't think it's a great movie, but I think that it's a great movie for kids who like know what Minecraft is and enjoys it. It's a very fun movie. Jack Black is Jack Blacking, Jason Momoa, Jason Momoing. It's just, I thought it was fun. I thought it was very fun, but it's definitely made for kids. I think kids love it. Me is just like, that was an alright thing to watch.
What do you think happens? Because we've gotten 3 out of 4 of these things to happen. But what do you think happens if you add Jason Momoa to a formula that is Kevin Hart, Kevin Harding, Jack Blacking, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
You know what? I saw a trailer for a new
Does
Kevin
the world
Hart movie
implode?
that's supposed to be serious. Not Kevin Hart. I was thinking Kevin James. But yeah, no, you get The Rock. Dude, yeah. Two very
Kevin
different
James
people.
And Kevin Hart.
Another
are two
Kevin
very
that I'm just getting
people.
too much of. But yeah, no. But yeah, no. I don't know. All I can say is it wasn't a bad movie. It was a good movie. It was fun, but it was meant for children. 100%.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Other than that, when she came up to town, I was helping her get shit out of her car. I'm like, you got a silver Game Boy SP? And she's like, yeah, it's yours. It's like, I was bringing it over. So I figured you want it back. I'm like, I totally forgot that you fucking had it. So got my fucking clamshell Game Boy SP backlit. You can just toss GameCube games in here. Dude, because every time we go to a used game store, I'm like, how much are they selling their SPs for? Like, do they have this one? Like, because there's certain ones that aren't backwards compatible. There's certain ones that don't have the backlight. I'm like, there's a specific one that I need to get because it's the one that I had. It has my Donkey Kong Country for Game Boy Advance in it. It still has my completed run in there as well as a save file. But I did open it up,
Nice.
and it's not like a bad bulge, but we need a battery replacement before it gets bad. So, but I was very happy with that. So yeah, that's my week.
I would replace that. Yes.
No, I'm 100%. I'm
Yeah.
gonna call up that gaming store, and then I'm gonna say, hey, you guys got batteries you just want to sell? 'Cause I know you guys replace batteries. So we'll see.
In fact, I would keep
Yeah.
that away from like windowsills and direct light.
I mean, I'm probably just gonna
Anything that could
remove the
make
battery altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
Also a good option.
Probably just the wireless. one.
Yeah. Nice. Anything else? That's it.
No, that's it. I played some more of that Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
The tunes are a little bit different, but they're still there. That thing plays like a dream, and just a little bit different. Like Funky Kong doesn't just tote you around to different levels. He's got a fishing mini game in there, and Candy Kong has a dancing rhythm game that absolutely. I mean, I don't do very well at it. I don't know if it's the system that's 20 years old that can't hit the buttons at the right time, or if it's just me and the game's bad at the rhythm game. But who knows? I played a little bit of it. I'm like, this is trash. I'm not playing this candy rhythm game ever again. Because you can just save whenever you want to. You press the start button, save it. I'm like, fucking A. Awesome. Great.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good version of Donkey Kong Country. I got Donkey Kong Country like less than like 5 feet away from it right now. So like if I really want to play Donkey Kong Country, I'll just play the Super Nintendo version.
Nice. Cool. Well, somehow with all the Halo talk, we're going to end pretty quickly because my week was not long. So this episode
Let's
will
say
be
quickly. It's just
right
an hour.
on.
We're still at an
Right.
hour.
Yeah, it'll be right on time. That's what I'm saying. So I played the new event in Monster Hunter Wilds. They're doing their like summertime
Samesies.
festival event. It's good. The new Uthduna is like an arch-tempered Uthduna, so it's just like a really hard version of one of the monsters. It's already pretty tough in there, and it's a pain in the ass, but I
Sure.
did it enough to get all the armor and the Palico armor. Finally,
So
why
I
are
have
you
a funny
laughing?
story to tell you about that.
Yeah.
So remember when you texted me and you were bitching at me about it, and you were like,
I
"This
was saying-
sucks," blah blah blah.
So
And
so
you're
just
like-
to clarify, it sucks because the people that you were getting partnered
Yeah,
with,
you were getting the pug groups.
Everyone is
You were
dying.
getting, people were
Sucks.
getting smoked and you couldn't finish it. I had said I had finished like twice or whatever, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I need 3 more tickets and then I'll just be done. And I saw you were on there and I was like, oh well, maybe I have time before this next call. I was like, I'm just gonna hop on and run it one more time. I did it and I used the lucky voucher and I got 3 armor tickets all at that same time that I killed it. And so
Yeah.
I was like, well, I guess I'll just do that whole armor set and be done here.
So, as we know, I have a sickness, so I had to go further than Christian. Not only did I need the 5 to build the
crown.
5 pieces of armor, I needed the 10. No, there's no crown. I needed the 10 tickets because I was building the male and female version of the armor.
Sure.
And technically 13 because I was doing the the Palico as well.
Yeah.
I hit a bad string of like pug groups where we had 8 deaths before I finally killed one, like 8 fails, and there's
Oh,
3
shit.
deaths in each. And like I told Christian, like I attributed for 2 of those deaths, which is even more frustrating because like I don't have a block like some of that heavy like it's just it's dumb. But finally, I figured out if I logged on before work and did 1 or 2 fights, all of my Asian daddies
Early
were
enough
on.
in the day for the time zone to be right, baby.
Yeah, and we just started cranking them out.
I bet.
And then the game was just such a dickhole about all of it. Like after I've gotten like 12 out of the 13 tickets that I needed, I was going for the last one. Same thing happened to me, Christian, where like I killed it and it's like, here's 3 tickets. And I'm like, but I only need 1 now to do everything. Like you couldn't have thrown me 3, like, I don't know, any other time. Like, nope, here you go. But it's good. The event's good. There's 3 different armor sets. I've built all 3 of them now, which are pretty cool.
Yeah, the same thing.
And then they throw you some new cosmetics for your I don't want to say companions, but like the other NPCs. So like Alma, your quest giver.
Yeah, but they're
she-
time limited unless you go out and buy them.
What they go away?
Yep.
Is this
Oh,
not something that you guys got with your deluxe edition as far as like getting like cosmetic packs? Don't you have to still
No.
pay for it?
You get the cosmetic packs that came with the deluxe edition launched with the deluxe edition. They do not guarantee you for future
Okay.
cosmetics. So the spring event that's going on right now,
Street Fighter
has,
1, yeah.
Well, no, the spring event that's happening right now is like Alma
So,
in like a half
they-
bathing suit.
I was
Or not
gonna say
Alma, the
Gemma.
what's her name? The Gemma. Yeah.
So
And,
they know what everybody's doing. They're like, hey, what do we do to go away? What do we do to get people to log back in right now? And Gemma is just in bikini, and then Alma is in a blue bikini with she has more of like a shawl thing over it.
And a big old sun hat. Yeah. And then they got one for Eric, the new guy that can also be a handler. I don't know who in their right mind would choose that.
Mr. Pasty.
Yeah, he sucks.
He's just an annoying character. He's just whatever. But yeah, so they're basically letting you trial them right now to be like, don't they look sick? And you go, yeah, they do look cool. And they go, cool. $5.99, or else they go away at the end of the event.
Oh, so they're only during that time. So if you have them, it's like, event's over. You want to keep Jim in that bathing suit? $5.99, brother.
Yes.
Yeah, they got it from me.
Yeah, they'll probably.
So it's just a better outfit than the other stuff.
Gemma gets sweaty. I'm just trying to help her out. She's next to that furnace the entire time, dog.
No kidding. So anyway, Alma on the other hand is in the Street Fighter 3 like Chun-Li garb, and she will never change from whatever garbage. That is. No, it's a garb.
Oh, okay. You cut out a little bit there. I'm like, don't be calling fucking Cammy garbage.
I said she's in the garb, and she will never change from what that is. So, so I played that. The event was good. They have some fun stuff in there, too. Like, you get a new emote where you, like, have an old school, like, pump water gun. You can shoot it at people.
Yeah. It's cool.
So, it's fun.
I think that also goes away after the event unless you buy it.
So, anyway, I continue to love that game. I know it has its problems. It's
good game. Still good game.
I really don't think it has that many problems anymore. I honestly think the whole difficulty thing was so overblown by
those people's problem. That's them.
Yeah, like just wanted something to complain about because they were hoping that it would be just as hard as World Master Rank at launch, and it's like that's never how any of these games have ever been. You guys are dumb. Like
because they went to play a previous game and they went a high rank on it. They're like, okay, let's get into the fucking fucking Wilds, the new one. And it's like this is too easy. I'm like, yeah, because you're starting from the beginning of the fucking game, man.
And then, like the complaints about the wound system and all the other stuff, I totally get.
Super fun.
Like, but what I mean is like it's the stagger on monsters made it so that even at the tail end of high rank, if 4 people are beating the shit out of a monster and they all are breaking wounds, it just topples the monster instantly, and you just sit there and beat the shit out of it until it can't do anything. And that I understand. Like, you want to tweak that and make it so that wounds are harder to get, or the parry, like, and tweak back those things. That's fine. But as soon as Arch-Tempered Raid Out came out and people were getting one shot, everyone's like, well, what the fuck? I don't know what I'm going to say. It's like, what do you want? What do you want? Because you were just complaining that it was way too easy before. Now you're complaining that it's too hard. And it's like, this is how it goes. A Monster Hunter game releases. People complain that low rank is too easy. Then high rank comes out and they're like, high rank is fine, but I want more. And then they start doing Arch-Tempered monsters. And then everyone's like, oh my god, these are so hard. And then by the time that Master Rank comes around, they're like, I'm so ready, let's do it. And then they do Master Rank and they're like, Jesus fucking Christ, this game's hard. And then it goes all the way in until they start doing like the crazy event monsters like Alatreon or whatever. Honestly, the only unique thing that has ever happened as Monster Hunter as an entire franchise is concerned is how fucking hard Fatalis was for World. That truly is the only time where somebody, I think, could look at that and be like, yeah, this is a tad difficult. And even then, there are still people now that have played it so often that they fucking speedrun that fight. So, it's...
The difficulty thing now, like, I will be hearing none of that argument from anybody until people quit dying less than me. And not to say I'm bad, I'm good at the game, especially with my class. But, like, I run a character that could easily be one-shot by most things if I get caught wrong. So, like, if we have 24 opportunities at death over 8 fights and I've attributed for exactly 2 of those, I'm not hearing it. I got so pissed at these pub groups, I've changed my stickers to one being the angry little, like, creature in the lightning that just says, why though? And then the other one just says, heal yourself, I'm not doing it for you. So it's just...
Now, you need to be careful because... sometimes you have been known that when stickers are aimed at you,
Get sassy.
you get very upset.
But not at most people. Only okay. So just quick, I only ever gotten mad at stickers when it's been you, because you and I used to run stuff. You and I would run stuff so much that like I saw it all the time. So when we're slamming our head against a wall or against a tough enemy, when I die on the 17th time and I just see your sticker pop up that I've seen 1,000 times now that says, "What happened?" Yeah, I get real sassy about it.
Oh,
I made him change it.
he did. There was I think it was during the Behemoth event from 14 where they brought that over, and it got really quiet and we were just sitting there trying to get it done, and he just goes, "You need to change that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Change what?" And he was like, "The what happened thing. You need to change it." He's like, "It's making me mad." And
You know I was getting mad when it gets really fucking quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, if he stops talking, yes. Yeah.
So
He's quiet.
That same thing, there was a couple times playing Halo with us and Jake. I remember there was, oh my god,
Some
still
funny
the
happens.
funniest
Christian's
thing
laughing his ass off. And
was it was me, Preston, Jake, and Alex, and we're sitting there playing, and Alex was just having a bad game. I think he went like maybe 3-14. It was a rough game for Alex, and no one says anything. Alex is quiet. He has not said a word. We get to the end of the screen there, and Jake just goes, astronomical numbers from Alex that game, and Preston and I start busting out laughing, and then Alex does not say a word, and I was like, he right now is hovering over the leave party button. Like, he is like, I am about to leave and not play this game anymore tonight.
I've come close a couple times. Something where
and then that's when he stopped playing with us. He was like, I am going to solo and grind out to be able to get some skills back so that I never have this happen again.
Yeah. And that started to be played with Jake
Speaking
a lot,
of,
actually.
I was just thinking about this, but with you guys playing Splitgate 2 or whatever, how's that group taking the fact that they're shutting that fucking game
back in
down?
beta.
We are not playing Splitgate 2. We were. I had an opportunity. I think they are. I had an opportunity to play with them once or twice, I think. And then like I got super busy at work. There was one day I wasn't so busy and Jake's like, "Hop on with us." And I was at the doctor. And I was like, "Sorry, I'm literally like in the doctor's office." But otherwise, I've been so busy, I haven't had an opportunity to play with them.
Yeah.
I updated it today because I had a Steam update ready to go, so it's still here. But no, I didn't know they were shutting it down. So I'm interested to hear what
shutting it down.
Jake has to
They're
say,
bringing
too.
it back to beta. They're unreleasing it.
Well,
They are unreleasing the game.
interesting. So I'll be interested to hear from Jake what they're doing or look into that, because I thought the gameplay was pretty good. I don't know. I didn't play it enough to recognize any balancing issues. Little stuff like I told you guys how Jake and I both got screwed on the battle pass. That you pay money to unlock currency like that. I'm still mad about that one. So
I still think it's funny that they just were like, they come out during the Summer Games Fest, like when Preston
making first-person shooters great again.
Good again, yeah, because fuck Call of Duty and fuck this and fuck that, and you're like, all right.
And we're releasing a brand new battle royale, and you're just like, but.
And then we're like, and here we go. We're doing Splitgate 2, and it's out, so everybody can come play it, and it's gonna be great. And they're like, anyways, after player feedback, we're unreleasing the game and putting it back in beta. It's like, woof. That is
rough.
And it doesn't help that the director of the game at the studio has been fucking warring with people on Twitter and Blue Sky, where he's like, fucking the only reason that fucking my game is getting hammered is because shitheads that like Call of Duty and Battlefield are talking about it. It's like, okay, man, that's gotta be what it is.
I think everybody said this after the Game Fest too. He is the worst part about the face of that game right now, right? If you just shut the hell up
and look, here's the thing: is that I'm not even like, the state of first-person shooters does suck. It's bad. They're not in a good spot. So I'm not even against what you're saying. But if you're going to come out and say, I'm going to fix it with my new game, then brother, you better come correct, because like that is a lofty claim, because right now you can like if you're looking for this is how depressing this is, but in my opinion, if you are genuinely looking for a shooter, whether first person or third person, to have constant updates, constant content of always trying to feel fresh and doing all these things, you know what game you're playing? You're playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
That's it. And
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate
Dude,
that is the thing.
I'm sure you saw they just added like Pineapple Express stuff. Like that's how far back in the candy bag they are to add like Seth Rogen from Pineapple Express, which is
that
insane.
game continues to retain all of its players. It gets new ones all the time. It gets new stuff. Fucking dude, like Godzilla's in it. Fucking Goku is there. Dude, Naruto is there.
It was removed from the Apple App Store. And people went, oh, I guess I'll just be playing it on my Xbox now. Right? Like, that was a big thing. Tim Sweeney's like, oh, no, like, we can't have it removed. And they removed it. And they did, I think they said it lost them a little bit of money, but, like, what's, as a drop in the pool to what they make.
Yeah,
people
compared
are just like,
to,
that's fine, I have it,
like,
I have
we
three
lose
places.
it on that platform. Yeah, you're still making hand over fist money.
Yeah.
And that really is what, like, and that sucks. I don't like that. Like, even with them having that no build mode so that people don't turn into skyscrapers as soon as you shoot at them. Still, at the end of the day, it's just not. I don't want it, right? Like, and most people that like old school or older FPS don't want it either. But the fact of the matter is that if I want a game that has new updates, that's fresh and doing those things, you're playing that. And so something like a Splitgate 2 is actually cool, like at first, because you're like, damn,
the gimmick is cool and actually plays well. Like, I'll give them credit for that. It works. The bones, and again, I want to hear Jake's. And I'm sure he'll leave us a comment. I want to hear his take on it, because the bones of a great game are there. The gunplay is good, and like the gimmick is good. Even though in Splitgate 1 we didn't really play the Portal version, we played the non, but even that was good. When I got on to Splitgate 1, the community wasn't there anymore because everybody was anticipating something new, and it was older. They moved on. Splitgate 2, I don't know how that community is. We played with a lot of sweats when we played the few times I've played. Because that's everybody that jumped in early, right? So it's, I don't know, man. Like it could be, but I do know they're.
But the problem is that a lot of those people, like, you need to have a solid community, but you also need to invite new people into your game. Mm-hmm. And the problem is that, like, unless your game is really good and you get people over to be like, hey guys, this actually is as good as these people say it, shitting on other things is usually not the way to get those doors open for people. And
you're a free game, and like you get them in and then you kind of screw them with like the monetary stuff because you got to make money somehow, which is the people are instantly going to go, well, why am I going to dump money into this? Like, I already have a community somewhere else I can just immediately go back to. Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know.
The only other thing I started was Citizen Sleeper 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I'm a little frustrated and torn and kind of want to start over because I'm not long into it. I didn't realize that if you don't do some of these side things quick enough in the early game, you just like leave the station you're at and you head to another one, right? You like
that happens no matter what.
Does it? Well, no, you leave. You leave, but you will leave with like without adding people to your crew or like completing because because I realized that the second one I did stuff correctly, I guess, and it was like so and so added
you
to your crew.
So in the beginning of the tutorial, like what the game is trying to teach you there though is that there's going to be moments in the game, no matter what, that you will like. There is I built my character like as close to perfect for my class as I could. Like I did a machinist again, so same thing as as Citizen Sleeper 1. So I did all these things, but there are characters that I missed out on simply because I did not have I did not have that skill. I could not talk to them or do the thing they wanted me to do. And then the party members I had with me either failed the role or couldn't do it. So you can sit there and reload and like try to do things, but at the end of the day, like there are things that you are going to
all right,
miss out on. Like it's
gotcha.
just but it's trying to say you can go back and play through again as a different
Gotcha.
class or do
then,
whatever.
Then maybe I won't worry about it. I'll continue on because I was like, on the second area, I did some stuff right, and I was like, oh, like the first time around, I was advancing time when I would spin my rolls around the main area because like I didn't realize where I didn't hit the right button to like go into the bigger map, so I couldn't see how. I was like, I know it wants me to go over here, but maybe I need to like accomplish these tasks before I can get the story beat that takes me there. And then I got to the end, they're like moving on to another area, and I was like, well, what the hell? And then the next area, I saw the button and opened up the world map, and I'm like, oh, okay, right? So I get it now. So I started to play correctly, but you know, it's good. The writing's good. The only complaint I have is in the very beginning, like they make you wait about 30 minutes before you can play the game, right? Of course, the game has a lot of story and a lot of stuff, but like honestly, with reading and doing the whole visual novel piece, like it was about 30 minutes before they're like, go play this game. So from an interactive part, that's my only complaint at first, but the game itself is very good. It's good so far. So that's all I've done. And of course I beat the game we're going to talk about later this week. So check in.
Oh, you beat the part, but
Part 1.
Beat the part. Sorry, beat the part.
You did
you
not
you
play through
don't
that
know
time.
me. You don't know me. I got to play through the whole game.
Speed
that's fair. You could have.
Sure.
So I beat the part that we're going to talk about. So check in later this week as we're going to dive into Christian's pick, which is the first part of Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater.
Yes.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So, we have a lot to talk about there. Very story heavy. Talk about a game that doesn't want to let you play it. We will get there.
That's Metal Gear, baby.
Week. So if there's nothing else, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us this week and joining our Halo cast. And we will see you next time. With that, Preston.
Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.